Welcome viewers to Parties Extra. I'm Helen Ford Wallace, and we are at the Oklahoman's video studio with Erin and Dan to talk about calm waters. Welcome you all.
Thank you so much, Helen.
Well, Erin, your mission at Calm Waters is to help children and families in their grief, which can be caused by death, divorce, or other significant loss. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Calm Waters has been in the community since 1992, and we got our beginnings because of a young boy named Jason. He was 10 years old. His father passed away very suddenly overnight. He was incredibly close to his dad, and his mom at the time was anxious to find help for him, specifically a support group where he could be around other young boys and girls that had also lost a parent, but she could find nothing in the community to help her.
Oh my.
And it wasn't until she happened to make a connection with Charlotte Lankard, who at the time was a counselor, connected with Baptist Hospital, that this organization began. It started just in the basement of Integris, offering support groups to children initially who had gone through a loss due to death.
And Charlotte was instrumental.
She was completely instrumental.
She's a wonderful person.
She is amazing. I've actually known her for years, and so it's been wonderful to kind of make that connection again now in my new role here at Calm Waters, and to just see the vision that she set very early on in partnership with Jason and his mom Sandra, and where this organization has gone since then. So
we love what she writes for us. So we're big on her.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So you all serve 2,500 students and families, and is that right?
Yeah, so actually this last year it was closer to around 4,000.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes. And we have a number of programs. We have our center-based programs. These are free support groups, again, for children and families who've gone through a loss due to death or divorce. Our support groups, starting just this January, are now offered year-round because we know that loss happens all the time, and people need help, you know, as soon as they can get it, and so we want to be available to them.
Do they come to you?
They do.
They come
yes.
to your
They come to our
business.
center, which is located off Northwest Expressway and 63rd, and our groups meet every other week for about an hour to an hour and a half.
That is amazing. I mean, it's amazing how it's grown through the years.
It has, yeah. And shortly after we got started, we introduced support groups for families that were going through a divorce.
Oh my gosh, and that one is
Huge.
very well attended.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it is.
And needed.
It is definitely needed. Even this last session, we saw a major increase in the number of participants for our divorce support groups. There's just such an increase, particularly in Oklahoma. We've seen that throughout the community.
Well, where do your referrals come from? Where do you find these people? I mean, do they just find you?
That's a great question. We actually ask that question when our families come to us because we want to know. A lot of them come from other counselors. So counselors recommend that they seek additional support from Calm Waters, but we also have physicians that refer, pediatricians and other physicians across the community. A lot of it's word of mouth.
Absolutely, word of mouth for sure.
Yep.
You know, if you think about it, Helen, we're all touched by grief on a daily basis, whether it's through a death or divorce. And I don't think there's any other organization like Calm Waters right now in the community that really services these kind of people, and just the benefits that this organization gives to people going through any kind of grief is instrumental in the community. So it's so needed, and it's such a worthwhile organization. I'm really honored and proud to be part of it.
That's wonderful. So does the court mandate any of your people?
Yeah, so we have of course our center-based support groups. We also have a school-based support group program where we work in schools across the metro Oklahoma City area, providing support those support groups in the schools. But then we also have what's called our Parenting Through Divorce class. And that is court mandated. So this is for parents who are divorcing and have children under the age of 18. They are required by law to attend this class. And so Calm Waters is one of the agencies in town that provides that course.
I did not know they were.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
It is. Yeah. It's a 4-hour class that really the goal there is to help the parents co-parent in a time that can be very challenging, and ensuring that this loss that the child and this family is experiencing, right? It's a change in the family dynamic, a loss of what they had known. is something that they can cope with going forward and process their emotion as the divorce happens.
Well, how about volunteers? Do you all have a lot of volunteers?
We could not do what we do without volunteers.
And always looking for more.
Always looking
really?
for
So
more. Yes.
Anybody can call you and
Absolutely.
take your classes or whatever you require?
We have quite phenomenal program staff that write all of our curriculum and then train our volunteers to be able to facilitate our support groups. Again, our support groups that are located at our center. But we rely on hundreds of volunteers every year, and we place them in groups because our support groups are divided up by age. So, you know, children broken up by age, teens, tweens, and then adults based on the type of death or loss. And so our volunteers get to interact every other week with these precious littles or the adults, or even in our divorce support groups as well. So they're incredibly vital. We would not be able to do it without them.
So do the volunteers need special degrees? Or
They do not, because of the level of curriculum that we provide. And the training that we provide, they are able to walk into those support groups and be able to facilitate the discussion and create that community for our families through what we provide them.
Well, you might tell our viewers how people could be a volunteer for you. I mean, do they call you, or do they
can
go to your website, or what do you do?
They can absolutely call us, 841-4800, or visit our website, calmwaters.org. There is a link on the site where they can click to learn more how to volunteer and complete an initial volunteer application. We'll bring them in for an interview and just get to know them and kind of assess where they might be a good fit.
Dan, you are board chairman, but I think you're also event chairman. So, and you have a big event coming up. So tell us about that.
We do, Helen. Thank you. Yes, Under the Big Top is the signature event for Calm Waters. It's coming up on April the 5th, so I want to kind of hold that up, April the 5th. This year it's going to be at the Farmers Market. It's a much bigger venue than the venue we've been having it over the last several years. But it's a fun event. It's a little bit different than a lot of nonprofit events. You know, we're going to have people dressed up in circus attire. There'll be stilt walkers and magicians. There'll be all kinds of fun things to do. There'll be food and beverages.
It's really a fun event.
It's a very fun event. It is.
Very circus atmosphere.
Yes. Yeah, we're excited. We're really excited about this year. You know, this is I think of all the events, when you think about it, you know, a lot of people have a ball or something like that, and they're always fun, but this is different, and we're hoping to get a few more folks out there this year.
And where is it?
It's going to be at the Farmers Market.
And yet that's where it's been before.
It has not been.
Not been there.
We've always had it at a smaller venue, but we needed a little bit more space to kind of move around it. This will allow us to provide more games and have a lot more fun props and things like that. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Great atmosphere.
So it seems like you have popcorn and cotton candy. And,
hot
dogs. Gourmet carnival food. Is there such a thing?
Corn
I
dogs.
think so. Yes.
Who doesn't like a good corn dog?
Who doesn't love a corn dog? Yes, but cotton candy and all of the goodies that we love to enjoy. And I mean, why not splurge on those things and help a really worthy organization?
Do you have a band or a DJ? I can't remember.
So we've had both over the years, and we're kind of looking at some different options for this year. So yeah, it'll be fun. And one thing that we're doing this year is we're offering a discount until February 15th on our individual tickets and our patron sponsorship. So we really encourage people to get online and buy their tickets now, because they can save a little bit and get it on their calendars.
Okay, tell them where they need to go for that.
Yeah, they need to go to calmwaters.org/underthebigtop.
Great. Well, after that, then you have Ripples of Hope. So tell us about that.
We do. Ripples of Hope is, I'm very excited about this event. This is a brand new event that Calm Waters is sponsoring. And again, when we talked a little bit earlier, if you think about the types of grief that people go through, the idea is we're going to do a breakfast, location and specific date to be determined. But we're going to have some speakers that have either used the services of Calm Waters through a tragic event that happened in their life, or it may be somebody that didn't know about the services of Calm Waters and are going to share their stories of grief. And some of those folks are going to wish that you know, they had heard about Calm Waters. So we're really trying hard to get the word out, to let everybody you know, that we know here in Oklahoma City and beyond about the services that we offer. But it's going to be a real special morning with some incredible testimonies of people willing to share their stories. And that's going to be our second fundraiser for the year, so we're very excited about it. It's going to be all new, brand new, Ripples of Hope.
Ripples of Hope in June, is that
in June? Yes.
Yep.
Sometime in June. Okay.
Yep.
Well, we look forward to hearing a little bit more about that, and especially when you're starting something.
Yeah.
You all need to come back and tell us a little bit more.
I would love to.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Come soon. Okay.
And we're sure we should probably have Kleenex on every table that morning too.
Absolutely.
Be,
You know,
morning.
actually, when you come to Calm Waters offices, we have boxes of Kleenex all throughout our space for obvious reasons. We have people coming in, you know, multiple times a day to see our counseling services or come in for groups, and so Kleenex is an important part, but I think it's also important for people to realize it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel that emotion when you've been through a loss. You know, and to Dan's point earlier, all of us have been affected by a loss at some point in our lives, and how important is it to know that there is a resource available right in your community that can help you get through that time, and know that you're not alone. It's one of the biggest lessons that our families learn out of all of this, is that what I'm feeling and what I'm experiencing is not, I'm not the only one that is dealing with this, and that there's a community of people that can support me.
Oh my. I mean, that grief is something else.
Yes, it is, and we all go through it.
In some form.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, so you have a new giving society named for Charlotte, I think. So tell us about that.
Oh my goodness, we're so excited about this. So Charlotte Lankard is our founder, and we wanted to find a way to give her special recognition while also recognizing our donors who contribute at a very high level and continue the vision and the mission that she set forth so many years ago. So our Charlotte Lankard Giving Society recognizes donors who contribute $1,000 or more in a given year, or corporations or organizations that give $5,000 or more a year.
So that's a good giving.
It is, yeah, and so we're excited to kick that society off with a reception in March, just as a way to really highlight, again, the work of Calm Waters and to encourage people to be a part of our mission.
Where do you all office?
Our offices are located off Northwest Expressway and 63rd, in that area, in an office complex.
And you have a pretty good sized staff, I think, do you?
Well, we have a small but mighty staff, is what I like to say.
That's
small
exactly
but
right.
mighty.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
we do a lot with a little. Let's put it that way.
Well, then you have your board.
We do. We have a growing board.
Fabulous board.
The board is growing. I was telling Erin and some of the staff members before, I said, you know, I really see this as a very energized staff. We have a new executive director. We have new visions. We have a new fundraiser. We have a bigger and better and much more improved signature event with Under the Big Top. And there's a lot of energy right now. I think the board is excited, the staff is excited, so I think we're on board to do some great things for Calm Waters.
That is great. Well, you all, let's back to your classes. Do they meet in the summer, or do they meet? When do they meet?
Yeah, so our groups meet year-round. We take a 6-week break in the summer as an opportunity for us to reevaluate our curriculum, kind of freshen up our therapy rooms, that kind of thing. But during that 6-week break, we do offer a camp for children who've experienced a loss. Last year was our first year to host this camp. It's called Camp Courage. And so we encourage, you know, families in the community to
How nice is
connect
that?
with us and to enroll, because it filled up very fast. There's such a need for that. We incorporated art therapy, music therapy, and a number of different ways to encourage children during the summer especially to still get that grief support.
Well, are these classes big or little, or what?
So our camp is pretty small. You know, we want it to be that way. You know, you want the kids to feel like they can make that connection with kids around them. But our support groups there's a lot of people on Monday and Thursday nights when they come to our center. It just is bursting at the seams. We have so many families participating. But then we divide out each group, again, by age, and then by type of loss. So if you have lost a loved one because they died by suicide or homicide or terminal illness, or sudden death, then you would be in a group that is specific to that type of loss. So those groups are a little bit smaller, again, because we want it to feel more intimate and more like a community.
Very professional. That's very good. That's a good thing to do. Okay, so is this the same website?
It is, calmwaters.org.
Okay.
And follow us on social media as well. It's a great way to stay connected with some of the fun things that are happening across our agency.
Okay, well, anything else about your board, or?
We've got a dynamic board. You know, we're just energized and excited, and we're continuing to grow. And you know, we're always looking for some top-notch board members as well. But it's growing, and we're very, very excited about it.
And volunteers. You know.
We need a lot of volunteers. That's what makes this organization tick. Are our volunteers?
Yep.
It really is.
So, anything else about Calm Waters, or save the date?
Yeah, I think we covered a lot of it. There's so much, you know.
Well, there
you and I
really
were
is.
talking about that earlier,
There
Helen.
really
There's
is.
always so many wonderful things going on in the community, but I'm just thrilled to be a part of this organization. I came to Calm Waters about 6 months ago, and it truly is a very special place. And you know, I've been through significant loss in my life. My dad died by suicide when I was a young girl, and I wished that there had been a place like Calm Waters for my mom and for me. And it honestly makes me so emotional when I think about these precious children in our community who go through similar types of loss.
And they need someone.
They absolutely
Yes.
need this resource, because, you know, that grief stays with you, but it doesn't have to traumatize you your whole life if you get the help that is needed. And so Calm Waters is here to provide that.
Well, I know Calm Waters is glad to have you, Erin. You're good at whatever you do.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for coming in, for telling us about it. So, Erin and Dan, our thanks for your information about Calm Waters. There is such a need for all of your program for children, grandparents, moms, dads, legal guardians. You are truly making a difference in providing these programs. Keep up the good work, you all. And thanks again. Thanks for coming.